All right, I'd like to show you another way to use eFLIP. Most of you are familiar with raising Amazon's price because you can never price higher than Amazon. What that does is it gives you a high ceiling, but what if you could flip the tables and actually go find books where Amazon isn't on the listing? So eFLIP allows you to do this. The way you're going to do it is you're going to set your minimum price to 0, and you're going to drag the top slider down to 0 as well. And what happens is if eFLIP is looking for books where Amazon is at 0 and 0, basically it's going to find books where Amazon is not on the listing at all. So in these cases, you don't have any ceiling. You can theoretically price as high as you want. And in order to help limit our search, we're going to bring the number of used offers way down, let's say to 20. And if you're out there scouting, you'll understand the value of this. If you come across a book and there's only 20 offers, odds are there's very likely to be few people or no people selling prime, and you can command whatever price the market will bear. So again, we're going to limit what we're willing to spend. Let's say we're willing to spend $10. We're going to make sure we find books where the bottom hasn't dropped out completely. We're going to make sure the lowest used price is at least $20. From a rank perspective, I'll bump that up to $500,000. I'll leave the publishing date alone. And what we're going to be looking for is books that have no prime or very low prime offers without Amazon on the listing. And let's go ahead and see what the software pulls up for us. Once the results are returned, we're actually going to sort this from rank low to high. And what this is going to do is help us find books that are selling very consistently, or at least have sold often in the last couple of days here. And I've already looked at a few of these. You can see the links have turned gray. So I want to highlight a few and talk you through why they may be good or may not be good. The first one I want to do is the California government. We can see the price is just under $4. New is about $30. Amazon's not on the listing, and again, very few used offers. The rank is still exceptional at 20,000, give or take. We're going to click on the prime offers here, and there are none, which is great. Amazon's listing would show up if it existed here. We'll go back, we'll click and look at all of the offers. So you see we can pick it up in good condition from a reputable seller, Textbooks Now. They're in Illinois. And they kind of have the stock description here. You can see from the Keepa chart that the book is selling fairly consistently. And what I like about this as well is that the price opens up fairly quickly. If you were to buy some of the cheaper options here at $4 plus $4 in shipping, it jumps up really quickly to $30. So it's not out of the picture or out of the question to list this book for $35 or even to be really aggressive and come in at $39 or $49. I tend to go at the $35 price point because then people without Prime can still qualify for free shipping. So I like this book for a number of reasons. Before we jump on it, we actually want to make sure that Amazon has not been on the listing in the recent past. And we can do that by going over to Camel. We can look at Amazon's price history and take a peek here. Now, it looks like Amazon's been on this listing over the last several years. We'll zoom in on the last year. They've at least been in the $38 to $39 price point, but for whatever reason, they're sold out right now. So you'd want to be careful. You wouldn't want to buy this book thinking you could list it for $50 because Amazon could come back on the listing next week. Since they've been in the $38 to $39 price range, I wouldn't be afraid of that, and I would still price at the $35 price point, maybe $29.95 just to be safe. So even if they did come back on the listing, we'd still be safe. But you always want to keep in mind what Amazon's doing or where they've been in the past, just to make sure you don't avoid any duds. So before you buy it, again, we can plug in our pricing here. Again, the software is going to add the $3.99 pricing to whatever the lowest price was. And again, if we were able to price this at around $35, we would make between 200 and 300% profit. Or on an $8 investment, we'd roughly make about $16 at the $35 price point. Not bad. So that's a good example here. Let me walk you through a few more. Here's one, reviewing intermediate level science. Sounds like a 8th grade test. So it's going to be some sort of a textbook for elementary. Again, we see no prime offers, which is great. As we go back, let's go and see what the lowest non-prime offers are. And this is an intriguing one. The price jumps up quite a bit. You've got one seller in here, again, a reputable seller, at a penny or $4, including shipping. I don't have a lot of price history on Keepa, so I'm actually going to go over to Camel and see what we can learn here. So if we look at the sales rank in the last 6 months, it's selling fairly often. The worst it's been ranked was almost $1.5 million, which isn't bad at all. This book should sell fairly quickly. And what I really like about it is the price is at a penny. You could buy up this lowest offer, and they may have multiple copies available, but you could buy up the cheapest offer. And even if you just wanted to match the next lowest merchant fulfilled price, you could price this at $30, no problem. The interesting thing is that Daily Deals and Quality 7 do not actually have their own inventory. They rely on their good feedback, and if you were to buy from them, they would actually buy this cheaper copy and drop ship it to you. So if you could actually buy the market out by buying this cheapest option, or maybe buying all of their stock if they have a couple, Daily Deals and Quality 7 would actually either disappear or raise up above this $295 price point. Now, because there's so few options available, I have a hard time believing that the book would ever sell at this price, and you could go research it at addall.com to see where it's available elsewhere. But I would have no problem pricing this at $35 or $49 or even a $99 price point and see what happens. Again, it's selling fairly consistently. We don't know at what price, though. What I like about this, and Camel will show you, it says Amazon has no data. So this is a book that Amazon's never been on the listing, and we don't really have to worry about them coming on the listing anytime soon. So you don't have to worry about them popping in, as I'll show you on the next book. So that's a very good purchase book, even if you only end up selling it for $15 or $20. If the market will only bear that, it's still great, but I think if you're pricing it there, you're leaving money on the table. Let me show you one more while we're looking at this. So here's Hammond and the Beans. Again, no Prime shows up at all, not even Amazon, which is great. Let's go see if we can still get it for that $3.50 that we're seeing. Yep, and the market is still there, which is awesome. So we can buy this in good shape, a fairly new seller, so you may, that may be there, it may not be as described, but again, Amazon's always going to side with you as the buyer. And then it jumps up to $12, and there, Wisdom Mart's a reputable seller, and you can see the price jumps up quickly. Again, you'll see Quality 7, Amit CJ, and probably Daily Deals somewhere on this listing. And no Daily Deals, but Amit CJ and Quality 7 are drop shippers to the best of my knowledge. What you want to be careful here is you can see the Amazon price on the Keepa chart here. And Amazon's been on the listing for $11.95. Looks like they stocked out about December 5th, and they were out for several weeks, and then they got a new shipment, and then they stocked out again. So Amazon's been on this listing. We can zoom out and look at the year chart, and they've had a couple pockets where they've been without the book. So for whatever reason, they're either struggling to get this book from the publisher, or they're just not ordering enough copies. And you can see by the green squiggles, that's every one of these jumps represents a sale. So the book is selling fairly consistently. This is one I'd have no hesitation about buying. The only challenge is when Amazon comes back on this listing, they're going to be in this $10 to $12 price range. So if you bought this for $8 thinking you're going to flip it for $35 or $40, you got a very small window to sell that before Amazon comes back on the listing, and they may stay on the listing for several months. So this is a book, if you're risk averse, I would probably stay away from. But again, you can use the charts, you can use Keepa, you can use Camel to your advantage to make sure you're going to buy those books. So again, this is just an example of trying to find books where Amazon isn't on the listing. That means you don't have a ceiling price that you can list it at. And I'm trying to limit the number of offers to limit the number of Prime sellers on the listing. So that's just another example of the ways to use eFLIP. Email me at thebookflipper@gmail.com if you'd like more information. I'd be happy to show you a live demo. Thanks for watching.